Hello everyone, I'm ImKibitz and welcome back to Satisfactory. Where after the last couple weeks, I've been working on gathering materials to build a super massive nuclear power plant. And it's required many hours of infrastructure setup in order to get the materials we need. And it's gonna require just a few more. But today, we're gonna finish all of the logistics and plan out the entire biome and how we'll set up the power plant proper. So lots of work, let's get started. And good news, if you support me over on Patreon, I'll release a world save with a blank slate and all the items here if you want to build your own nuclear power plant. So just check the link in the description. Stage one is I'm just gonna finish paving the rest of the biome. I just started with this part here. But considering the hundreds, if not thousands of machines that need to be built, we're gonna need all the space we can get. So we just have all these blueprints for paving, and we'll add in more details once we figure out where the trains and everything will go. Because that's half the battle here. Figuring out where trains, belts, and all the rest of it is actually gonna be placed around here. There's a lot of space and a lot of variables, so it's kind of confusing. It's kind of like playing a Sudoku puzzle. If you haven't played it before, essentially, the game's kind of about getting rid of variables. And when you start one of the puzzles, it's really hard to get started. But once you get a couple numbers filled in, it gets a lot easier. Until eventually, things are kind of obvious. So I'm thinking to myself, the more I build, probably the more obvious solutions will be. So right now, we have a lot paved. This is looking really boring, so we probably will have a train track running through here at some point. And that's about it. I have no idea what else to do. So I'm just gonna do things, fill in random numbers. Maybe the plan will become a little bit more obvious. Like we have to build hundreds of nuclear power plants, so this looks like a good spot as any to start. And then we'll have something to kind of work around that's not just the terrain. But already with a couple nuclear reactors, it's like, okay, these need some water. We have water over there, so probably should cut this out. Have a path for the water going through here. Okay, well then that means that these have to be shifted over a little bit, probably to like here. Okay, and then we'll have the items maybe running in from over here or over there. No, because we could have the trains over there or maybe up there. We could do like the nuclear processing over here, have the items run into here, and you see what I'm saying? Like some of the numbers are filling in. So yeah, it's not perfect, but it's definitely a start. And to continue along with the theme, I started even doing a few details like, hey, there are these ladders behind the nuclear power plant, so I probably want to get to those. So I added in a walkway here that goes to those ladders. So now I can kind of get up and down. Probably have to shift that path around a little bit. But the main point being is like, okay, if we have the pathway going there, that means we probably need some walking space here. So that means this area could be like a logistics line or a hallway or something of that nature. And yeah, we're moving and grooving. Also gave me a couple minutes to kind of think through a little bit more of the ideas. So I spent some time just decorating down here, kind of encase the area since there's gonna be like reactor rods going through and all that. Have the turbines for the plants kind of uncovered so we can see them. Yeah, a lot more detail work required here. But I'll finish that up a little bit later, because in doing so, I realized, oh yeah, we actually need to get more drones set up, because we don't have any of the uranium planned out. Like the water's good to go, and so is every other item, except for the uranium. So quick detour, we're gonna focus on getting that. Also look at all those details, wow! They're about as vague as my plan right now. But no, let's focus up on getting the uranium. There's some nodes that are just so far away that, yeah, we're probably gonna wanna just set up drones for. And also, it keeps the radioactivity at bay. If we have drones bringing all of the radioactive material in, or at least most of it, don't have any spicy surprises, you could say. So yeah, we'll just be setting up random drone ports here and there. I'll add a little bit of detail. Nothing too fancy, nothing too crazy. Essentially just the miner, and then the port itself. Or ports, really. There might be more than one just because of throughput issues, like the drones might not be fast enough to bring items from A to B down there. And if that's the case, then more drones. For now, we'll set things up with one, call it our day, and to help ourselves out, we have a bit of a bigger buffer, and then from here, the uranium will go to there, and then from the bin into the drone port in a more organized manner. Yeah, that'll be fine. Fueling the drones though, we'll have them fueled over at the power plant over there, and we won't need to worry about it up here. We'll just have to worry about getting the power up here somehow, but future Kib's problem, let's design this first. We'll probably just want to raise the drone port up a tile, so that way we can add in a little bit more detail to the side. And after a few other little adjustments, yeah, neato little drone port. Centered it up, have some walkways, little logistics towers, some power poles, and that's that. Nothing crazy, nothing complicated, snug and secure. Except for right here, we are not going to power on this system for a long time, because I don't want to build up all this radioactive stuff or have it anywhere near the power plant until we're good and ready. Then the last thing is just bringing the power up here. So we'll probably just have like a random pillar going up and down here, hide it a little bit, and call it a day. Not gonna concern myself too much with it. Instead, we're gonna move off to the next uranium node. So there are 5 nodes in the world. That is impure. There's another one way over there. That's on top of the cliff that we might just belt down. And then there's 2 more drone ports we have to set up in the swamp and in the red forest there. What's great though is that after all these hours of setting up infrastructure all over the place, it is really easy to just add in a little bit more. We already have power, we already have belts, and we're ready to rock and roll immediately, unlike that one giant cliff base we had to make. Now over here, we have the power, and we can just add like a drone onto our station there. As for the uranium, it's just out and behind the old waterfall, which is actually a normal node, I think. How tasty is the foo? Impure. Okay, never mind. Okay, boys, relax, it's over. I already have trains outside. There's no point resisting your fate. Get away. Okay, your brother was radical. Are you gonna be chill or not chill? Oh, are you just gonna hide inside like another dimension? Inside the rock? Looks like it. You do you. All right, so this should be pretty straightforward. Set up the extractor right there, and then we want to bring the uranium to one of our train stations. Well, there's that one right over there, but it's looking a little busy. No, I think we'll go over to this train station. Go through this waterfall, scoot out to here, and then for the drone, I guess we could set it up down here. Right, Mr. Bean? Right. Let's bring the grid out, scoot on down, and just a bit more of the same here. Drone port, a little bit elevated, so we can zoom in a couple of details. And then what do you think, Mr. Bean? Like your new home? Sounds like it. Yeah, kind of just a similar kind of design, where we have the little lookout tower, brought the power on over from the train station proper. Look at this pillar. Looks pretty cool, eh? I snuck in a conveyor lift floor hole to solidify the top and make it matchy-matchy. It looks good. And then just by using our old blueprints, the ground support ones, I was able to go and get the uranium. It's all nice and hidden behind the waterfall. It looks pretty good. No problem at all, bud. Another 300 down. Yeah, easy peasy, nice little subtle design right with the rest of our infrastructure, and we can already move on to the red forest over there, which actually should be the easiest node to set up. Since there's power and infrastructure all over the place, it'll just be a quick scoot over, and we're good to go. Any objections? I was about to say, no objections. Complete, oh gosh. 1 second, dealing with a support ticket here. There you go. Questions answered. Okay, dude, ruining my meme. Holy, don't murder me. Come over here. Okay, support ticket answered. We're all good. Another impure node, right? Normal node, okay. We might have to get 2 drones for this. In that case, I was considering setting up a drone down here. Instead, we'll probably bring the uranium up to here and add on to our train station right over there. We do have a lot of space, right? Oh yeah, plenty of room for activities. So just a quick scoop of the goods, send them on up, and quickly make sure it all makes it over just fine. And then that's another drone port done. Easy peasy. So what's the status on Operation Big Smile? Well, One of the eyes over here, that's on the big hill, that uranium node, yoinked. This one is actually by a bunch of our existing infrastructure, so we could belt it, maybe set up a drone. TLDR, it's practically done. Swamp drone is set up, and we just finished with the red forest node, leaving us with the 600 uranium right over here. Oh, but wait! That node is just underground here in this cave. This cave that has this wonderful train track already running through it. So we already know we can't use a drone, and we already have a train track here. So past Kibs eons ago already got it all set up. So the 600 uranium is split amongst 3 freight cars, and we're gonna be shipping it over via rail. It's not the best option because now we're gonna have a super radioactive train running around the world, but it's the option we're going with. And it also kind of worked out because we could use the uranium in the meantime in our main base for our other activities. Activities that don't go against any recognized conventions and are perfectly legal and totally fine within fix-it parameters, right? Right. Good news at least is once the power plant's running, all of the uranium is gonna be used for power, which is why I stockpiled so many. Because how could we defend ourselves if we didn't have thousands of nuclear weapons, right? But the key point here is that we now have all of the uranium in the world. Oh wait, this one. Well, it's actually right next door to our nuclear power plant up on the cliffs here and by our existing infrastructure. So I was kind of considering just belting it all the way back down. Or how about just another snug drone port just to make things consistent, right? Right. So quickly jumping over to our nuclear diorama world, we can check off another thing from the list. So we still have lots of machines to build, but look at this. Pretty much all the items are good to go, including now uranium. And the only thing left is really coal, but that's a bit of a wild card right now. And we'll get to it way later in the project. Because with what we already have, we can actually already produce up to plutonium fuel rods, which is pretty insane. Now we have to get to planning how we're building the factory itself here. And the drone ports, we can just plop those anywhere, no biggie. No, the biggie right now is trains. We need to figure out where all the trains are going. We have that uranium train that has to go somewhere. So I brought a track over from our main line down this way, and it's gonna scoot on through around here. I want to sink the track into the foundation a little bit to give it a little bit more, character, instead of just the, the parking lot look we got going. This could be down in a trench here. And this is not the only train we have to set up. No, there's the train with 3 cars for nuclear. We'll set something up like that for now. We have another train that also has 3 cars. It's actually way over there right now, which has some SAM and other goods. So another 3 cars need to be around here, I guess. But more importantly, there's 2 other huge trains we have to find space for. One of which is actually pretty close to this loop here, where it goes all the way up through here, over into the northern forest-ish, and to here. This train has a ton of critical things. It has sulfur, SAM, and Caterium. So this has to have space on the main platform. And it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 freight cars long. All right, that's a bit of space. And then we have another huge train, which I think has 11 cars, on a detached piece of infrastructure over here. This is gonna be an independent track away from our main world grid here. And that track just goes in through this way, and it can honestly end up anywhere. We could have the station right here, we could have it there. Doesn't matter, not a big concern. Oh, but you know what is? The Caterium train, I almost forgot about that. We need 6,000 Caterium ore at the nuclear power plant later on in the project. And my plan was to process all the Caterium to kind of shrink it down, send it on a big old Caterium train, and then ship it back. But that's gonna be pretty rough. Partly because that's another train on our main train line going all over the world, but also because, okay, look, this is probably just an error in judgment, but some of the Caterium I'm getting is on the literal other side of the world, way over there. And I could have a bunch of trains shipping all this Caterium, But at the end of the day, it's gonna kill the project because there'll be throughput issues, I already know. So, we're going to fix up one of those plans. Change up the numbers on our little Sudoku puzzle here. And instead, we're gonna rip up this train station and extend it. We'll need another 3,000 Caterium without the Caterium train, but it just so happens there's some right nearby. We'll get 3 freight cars ready to go, and then we'll bring all the Caterium over underneath our train tracks like we've done with every other item, and everything should be fine. It's just we gotta have to go a bit of a distance to get the goods, because the Caterium is actually underground just over there. So we're gonna have to go and dig for it. So ring ring, hello. Any Caterium underground here? Oh yes sir, there is. This is a pure node, so fully upgraded, that's 1,200 per minute. A normal node will be 600, and then this is, oh, normal. It's not 3,000, that's 1,800. Wait, that means, oh, a slug. That means we need another 1,200 from somewhere. Oh no, you know what? I know what I have to do. There is a pure Caterium node that can get us 1,200 Caterium per minute right there. And right now, I have it belted all the way over to this other train station and processed there as well. But we could get rid of that entire belt. Instead, bring the Caterium the other way up until that train station and then ship it to the plant over there. That would take a lot of time. That would suck, but that's what we're gonna do. We gotta do it. At least the good news for over here is our time wasn't necessarily wasted with all the processing we did, because we could just switch this recipe up to like whatever else, like probably pure copper ingots, and then we can ship those ingots on the other train I built here for later. So yeah, bit of a waste of time, but not all is lost, except for maybe a dozen hours. Both because of the insane amount of belting that change required, and having to like redo this whole train station. Oh wait, no, this is the first train station we have to redo. Still gotta get back to this one. This one though, at least we have stuff built all over the place. Just a lot of redesigning down here. We'll probably just use the same pattern, who cares? And then the Caterium. What's the easiest way to get that? Well, the closest belt that we have going over here is for some SAM, and the SAM is just down over that way. So we could extend that platform in the opposite direction. Please, will this work? I see a through line. It's possible. This is typically how I set up my belt infrastructure. I find a path, try and build some foundations over to it, and if the foundations can reach, we bring the belts. Holy freaking spiders, Batman. Spiders, don't worry though. Let me introduce you to the nuclear football. It's kind of cute. It's like both of them went to run off and play with it. And now their friends are like, what the heck was that? I'll show you, don't worry. Plenty to go around. See? Such a fun game. Oh my gosh, the flies though, not as fun, go away! Nobody likes you. Other gun, finish the job. Turbo rifle ammo for the win. Where's the last one? I knew you'd be here. Oh, is that a giant spider? What are you doing? Going out for a swim? Oh, no, trying to murder me? A classic. Oh, good job, you scratched me. And now you're dead. Enjoy your forever swim. Anyway, belt work. Goes through here, and there's the cave we're aiming at. So hey, looks like the path will work. Just needs a ton of work. But you know what else is new? This has already been my last 5 weeks. What's a couple more hours, right? Right. Oh wait, big thing is, that's it. These are the for real final items this time. We have everything but the coal doesn't really matter just yet. No, the Caterium is good. So now back to the nuclear power plant and let's figure out those trains. You ready to go chew? I'm ready to go chew. And I've already gotten started. We have some train that's over here that I was bringing over in this direction for whatever reason, but I was like, no, screw that. It's on a train. Bring the items to where they need to go. So they went that way. After working on gathering all those items and changing all the stuff up, I have a pretty good idea with what I want to do with the power plant here, where we have a couple of nuclear power plants built over there, right? So I wanted to stick with the idea of having all the nuclear processing kind of in one corner so we don't irradiate the entire facility. And if that's the case, well then I was thinking of having all of the trains, as many as we could, set up over here. So then the processing kind of goes from right to left, passing through the middle of where we can build our control center. Which means from here, we are good to rock and roll. We'll bring the other train that we had just down over this way through some big trench. We'll bring it over to probably over there or something like that. And then yeah, the other trains will probably end up over there. We'll do some basic processing and the party is started. Oh yeah, the plan was so simple from here. The puzzle is done, we know what to do, it's just simply work. So main thing, train station was extended here up to 11 cars. Processed all of the Caterium at this station to help with throughput, and this train is now 11 cars, which I brought through the cliffs like I was planning. Through ye ol' arch, and that train track goes through another train trench, connects up with the other line and ends up off in the corner. So both of the big trains are big chillin'. As for the little train over there, well, it's gonna scoot on in, and you know what? We're gonna park it right there. Just a few freight cars, bud, no biggie. And then we could just hook that up with the rest of the track, off it goes. And then for the uranium, well, the uranium train is gonna have 600 per minute. We know we wanna have the uranium stuff dealt with over there, and we happen to have a train track now that crosses the entire length of the plant. So we could have the uranium train track come over this way, go on up here, scoot across the main platform itself, connect with that track, and then we can have the other station over there. Beautiful solution. Trains are now done. And for sake of completeness, since this train is coming from this cave that's in the middle of the map, I didn't want to have that train go all the way over to here through the swamp and around like half the world. So instead, I was like, hey, I have all the time in the world. Let's just cut a train track through the Titan Forest, the most complex biome in the entire world, so we can cut the train's throughput time in half. What a great idea. Doesn't take any time at all. But look at this true, look at all the twists, all the turns that take all the time. Oh, and look at that, it connects right past the other train station we set up. It's perfect. Saves like a minute on train travel time. Was it worth it? Was it worth all the hours? It better have been, or else, oh, it'd be good. Oh, the uranium train can now scoot on over this way, drawing the same old track, drawing the same old loop, and we are good to go. Ah, feels good. But we're not done. I had to finish decorating all the train stations, reroute other Caterium, destroy redundant pieces of infrastructure, get rid of concrete all over the place, and bring all the pipes actually down to the platform, along with all the rest of the belts and pipes. And all of the other things I just left for future Kibs. Well, guess what? It was future Kibs' time to shine, and oh boy, he's lost his mind. But it's okay, we're done. And now next time, we don't have to deal with logistics and instead can start building nuclear fuel rods. However, though, that is gonna be all for now, but if you enjoyed, remember to leave a like and subscribe for more. And if you want my world save, it's available on Patreon. In its current state, it is now. You kind of have a blank slate if you want to build your own nuclear power plant here, without doing like the 70 hours of infrastructure setup. So have fun, and until next time, I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and bye-bye.